When Tom Ball first walked onto the stage of Britain's Got Talent, he looked like an ordinary school teacher. But the moment he started singing, the room fell silent. Judge Amanda Holden even called him one of the best singers the show had seen in 16 years. But what happened after the cameras stopped rolling wasn't nearly as simple as fans expected. Health scares, career struggles, and major life changes followed. So what really happened to Tom Ball after his viral moment? And where is he now? Let's find out. Tom Ball was born in Brighton, West Sussex, to parents Claire and Chris Ball. While much about his early childhood remains private, one thing has always been clear. Music played a major role in his life from a very young age. Long before the world discovered his voice on Britain's Got Talent, Tom had already developed a deep love for singing. As a child, he often sang with his mother during car rides home from school, especially songs from the musical Les Miserables. Those small moments helped spark a passion that would quietly grow for years. Although he never pursued professional singing early on, Tom stayed close to music throughout his life. He performed in small venues like local pubs and clubs near his hometown and joined community theater groups when he was only 7 years old. Despite his obvious talent, music was never his full-time career. Instead, Tom chose a different path and became a secondary school teacher in Burgess Hill. He began teaching at a young age, dedicating himself to education while keeping his musical abilities mostly hidden from his students. When Tom finally stepped onto the stage of Britain's Got Talent, he brought along two of the most important people in his life, his father Chris and his fiancée Hannah Burton-Shaw. During the interview portion of the audition, the judges seemed unsure about what to expect. In fact, Simon Cowell appeared particularly skeptical when Tom mentioned that people sometimes compared his voice to Michael Ball. The comparison sounded bold, but Tom was about to prove he had the talent to back it up. Once the music began, everything changed. Tom delivered a powerful performance of Writings on the Wall by Sam Smith, an Oscar-winning song known for its difficult vocals. His performance stunned the audience and judges alike, earning a standing ovation that lasted more than a minute. Amanda Holden called him a powerhouse, while Alicia Dixon admitted his voice moved her deeply. Even the famously hard-to-impress Simon Cowell praised him and called him incredibly likable. With 4 enthusiastic yes votes, Tom advanced to the next stage of the competition. As the season continued, Tom kept impressing audiences with performance after performance. In the semifinals, he delivered a breathtaking version of Rise Like a Phoenix by Conchita Wurst. Later in the final, he sang the powerful ballad I Who Have Nothing Made famous by Tom Jones. Despite these standout performances, Tom ultimately finished 3rd in the competition, an impressive achievement that still left many fans shocked. What viewers didn't realize was that Tom had been battling a serious health crisis behind the scenes. Just days before the final performance, he began feeling extremely ill, exhausted, weak, and unable to function normally. Doctors soon diagnosed him with type 1 diabetes, and he also developed diabetic ketoacidosis, a dangerous condition caused by a severe lack of insulin. The situation became so serious that he had to be rushed to the hospital only hours before he was scheduled to perform. At first, Tom tried to keep the diagnosis hidden because he feared it might affect his chances in the competition. But his fiancée Hannah, who works as a nurse, knew the situation was too serious to ignore and called emergency services. He was taken to the hospital immediately, leaving everyone unsure whether he would even be able to return to the stage. Despite battling a serious health crisis just days before the finale of Britain's Got Talent, Tom Ball refused to give up. After being rushed to the hospital with diabetic ketoacidosis following his diagnosis of type 1 diabetes, many believed he would be unable to perform. Yet only hours before the live finale, Tom pushed himself to return to rehearsals. Arriving roughly 4 hours before the show, he fought through exhaustion and uncertainty to prepare for the biggest performance of his life. Later, he admitted that staying positive during that moment was incredibly difficult, but he was determined not to let the opportunity slip away. Although Tom finished third in the competition, it quickly became clear that his journey was far from over. His powerful performances had already captured the attention of audiences and music professionals alike. Soon after the show ended, he began recording music professionally and performing on larger stages. In a fitting twist, one of the artists he later toured with was Michael Ball, the very singer judges had compared him to during his first audition. While his music career was taking off, Tom also experienced major milestones in his personal life. In October the following year, he married his longtime partner Hannah Burton Shaw, the nurse who had helped save his life during his health emergency. The couple later celebrated their honeymoon a few months after the wedding, marking a joyful new chapter together. At the same time, Tom began working on projects that allowed him to give back. He launched an online music school designed to help aspiring singers develop their talent. Through a subscription-based program, students can learn directly from Tom while receiving guidance on vocal technique and performance. The platform also allows him to share the lessons he has learned throughout his own journey. His diabetes diagnosis also inspired him to use his voice beyond music. Tom became an official ambassador for Diabetes UK, using his growing platform to raise awareness about the condition and encourage others living with diabetes. He has spoken openly about his experiences, hoping to show people that they are not alone and that the illness does not have to limit their dreams. As his popularity grew, Tom continued performing across Europe and Asia, steadily building an international audience. Eventually, his journey led him across the Atlantic to another massive stage, America's Got Talent All-Stars. The show brings together standout performers from the entire Got Talent franchise, creating one of the most competitive talent contests in the world. Tom once again delivered a performance that stunned both judges and viewers. His emotional rendition of The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel earned another standing ovation and quickly went viral online, gathering millions of views in a short time. Even the notoriously tough judge Simon Cowell praised his performance, reaffirming what many had already realized. Tom Ball was no longer just a talent show contestant, but a rising singer with a powerful voice and a remarkable story. When Tom Ball stepped onto the stage of America's Got Talent All-Stars, the pressure was enormous. Contestants on the show were not newcomers. They were already some of the most memorable performers from the entire Got Talent franchise. Yet Tom once again proved why his voice had captured so much attention around the world. After one of his early performances, Judge Simon Cowell compared him to the legendary Susan Boyle, even jokingly calling Tom Susan Boyle's grandson. The comparison was meant as high praise. Like Boyle, Tom had the ability to shock audiences with a voice far more powerful than anyone expected at first glance. Simon went even further, declaring that Tom's performance was the best he had seen in the entire series. The moment became even more dramatic when the judges delivered a rare honor. Simon Cowell, Howie Mandel, and Heidi Klum pressed the golden buzzer together, instantly sending Tom straight to the finals. The audience erupted in applause, and the performance quickly went viral online, drawing millions of views. With such a powerful moment behind him, expectations for the finale were extremely high. Many wondered whether Tom could possibly match the emotional impact of that golden buzzer performance. But once again, he surprised everyone. For the final round, he delivered a haunting and deeply emotional interpretation of Creep by Radiohead. His version of the song showcased the full strength and control of his voice, earning yet another standing ovation from the judges and audience. However, the final results brought an unexpected twist. In the last stage of the competition, Tom performed Who Wants to Live Forever by Queen alongside the voices of Hope Children's Choir. While the performance was powerful and emotional, the competition that season was incredibly intense. Despite his strong showing, Tom did not receive enough votes to place in the top 5, which ultimately ended his journey in the competition. Even though he did not win, Tom's performances left a lasting impression on viewers around the world. Many fans have compared the emotional power of his voice to iconic singers like Susan Boyle and even Luciano Pavarotti. His soaring high notes and dramatic vocal control continue to draw praise from listeners everywhere. However, life was not that easy. After finishing as runner-up on Britain's Got Talent, Tom Ball expected his life to change overnight. In many ways it did, but not in the way people imagined. Looking back on the months immediately after the show, the former school teacher admitted that the future felt uncertain and even frightening. At the time, Tom had already made a huge decision. He had left his job as a secondary school teacher to chase a career in music. But when the show ended, there were no contracts waiting and no clear path forward. "You leave not really knowing what's going to happen," he later explained in an interview. "You have this incredible time and you're constantly buzzing off those moments you remember. But for me, it was really scary." Because he had resigned from teaching, there was no job to fall back on. "I didn't have anything after BGT," he admitted. "I didn't have any focus on how I was going to make a music career at that time, and I also didn't have a teaching job, so it was really quite nerve-wracking." Fortunately, that uncertainty did not last long. A turning point came thanks to his manager, Jay James, who Tom credits with helping him find direction during that difficult period. "Without him, I don't know what I would do," Tom said. "He is truly a mastermind planner, organizer, and a great, great friend." Even more surprising, help also came from one of Tom's own musical heroes. Just one day after the Britain's Got Talent final, he received a phone call from West End star Michael Ball. "I was incredibly lucky," Tom recalled. "Michael Ball phoned me the day after the BGT final and invited me to sing with him that weekend at the London Palladium." Of course, Tom immediately accepted. That single performance opened new doors. While performing there, he met members of the vocal group The Overtones, which eventually led him to connect with Jay James and begin planning his career seriously. Together, they built a strategy not just for the next few months, but for the next 5 and even 10 years. Soon after, Tom signed with Westway Music, a label known for its connection to theater and stage performers. The partnership felt natural for someone with Tom's musical theater background. His album later featured collaborations with well-known artists, including Lucy Jones, while the festive song Winter Song was co-written by Gary Barlow. Tom also began developing his own songwriting voice. He explained that he wanted the album to balance familiar covers with original material so listeners could understand who he was as an artist. "Songwriting is something I'm really passionate about," he said. "It's great to give people something they know, but also show them who I am as a recording artist." One of the most personal tracks on the album became the upbeat single, The Best Part. Tom described it as a feel-good song inspired partly by his love for Michael Bublé. "I wanted to write a summer song," he explained, "a song you'd play in the car with the windows down and sing along with your friends." Another highlight was his interpretation of Bring Him Home from Les Miserables, one of Tom's favorite songs of all time. Because of its legendary status, he spent extra time perfecting the recording. "It's absolutely iconic," he said. "I was really particular about how I wanted it to sound. I tried to put my own stamp on every song." Around the same time, fans noticed another change in Tom, his appearance. He debuted a more modern hairstyle, updated his wardrobe, and lost weight. The transformation was not just about style, it was also connected to managing his type 1 diabetes more effectively. "After I finished teaching, I realized I wasn't the healthiest I could be," Tom explained. "Being healthy and eating well helps manage diabetes. And if I'm going to stand on stage in front of the world, I want to feel my best." The results have paid off. Tom has since completed sold-out tours across the UK, performing night after night with the confidence of someone who fought through uncertainty and built his career step by step. In 2024, Tom Ball shared a deeply personal milestone that delighted his fans around the world, The singer, who rose to fame on Britain's Got Talent and later appeared on America's Got Talent, All Stars, revealed that he and his wife Hannah Ball were expecting their first child. The announcement came after a long and emotional journey for the couple. Tom explained that they had undergone IVF treatment in order to start a family. After months of uncertainty, their dream was finally becoming reality. On September 30th, Tom shared the news on Instagram with a heartfelt message and a photo of the couple holding an ultrasound image. "Hannah and I are overjoyed to announce we're expecting our first child," he wrote. "Our little miracle is due in January next year, and we're already bursting with love. After a long, difficult journey and becoming successful with IVF, we're so thankful and excited for this new chapter. Honestly, it's our dream come true." For Tom and Hannah, the moment carried special meaning. The couple had married in October 2022, and since then they had quietly faced the emotional ups and downs of fertility treatment. The baby announcement was not just happy news. It represented years of hope and perseverance finally paying off. At the same time, Tom's career was continuing to grow. Alongside preparing for fatherhood, he also announced a major concert tour across the United Kingdom. Following the success of his previous sold-out shows, he revealed plans for a 34-date tour titled Spotlight. In the same announcement, Tom joked about the timing of these life events. "While Hannah gives birth to our first child," he wrote with humor, "I'm giving birth to a major 34-date 2026 UK tour." Despite his growing fame, Tom has often spoken about how important Hannah has been throughout his journey. In a tribute he shared online marking the anniversary of when they first met, he reflected on the years they had spent together. "6 years ago, I met the love of my life," he wrote. "Since then, we've been through the highs and the lows, the victories and the challenges. Through it all, I'm incredibly grateful for every moment we've shared and for the amazing woman she is." Now, as Tom Ball prepares for both a nationwide tour and the arrival of his first child, it's clear that a new and exciting chapter of his life is just beginning.